This type of problem involves delta H. Now, delta H and Q are the same thing. They're just usually expressed in different units. Delta H is in kilojoules per mole, so we're going to do this in 2 steps. We'll use Q equals MC delta T to get the kilojoules part, and then we're going to use the other mass to get our mole part. So, first part, Q equals MC delta T. And so we start looking for our mass, and there are 2 of them. There is this mass for the sodium iodide, and there is this mass here for water. The rule of thumb is when you are looking for the mass, you use the one that is that we're taking the temperature change of. So we're taking the temperature change of the water, so we want to use the mass of that water. Now it could have said 80 milliliters, but remember the density of water is 1 gram per milliliter. So 80 milliliters would have been 80 grams. So we have 80 grams of water. Now the specific heat of water is 4.184 joules per gram degrees C. That is a constant that is given to you on your reference table. And then the change in temperature here is going to be 3.9 degrees C. When I do this, the answer is going to come out in joules, and I end up with 3 sig figs 10 joules. Now, the general convention is if the joules are kind of small, and if they're over 1,000, we go ahead and convert those to kilojoules. And we're going to want to here so that we can get the units that the problem wants everything in. So we move the decimal 3 places over, so 1.31. Give that decimal in there. Kilojoules. Now, we need to deal with the moles part. So, that's where we're going to use this other mass. And it's usually kilojoules per mole of what's making the water change temperature. And the sodium iodide is what's making it change temperature with its heat of solution. So, we're going to take our 25.7 grams of sodium iodide, and we are going to just convert it to moles. The molar mass of sodium iodide is 149.89 grams in 1 mole. And so our moles are 0.171 moles. Now to get the delta H, that is in kilojoules per mole. So we're going to take our kilojoules and divide them by our moles. So 1.31 kilojoules divided by 71 moles. And that will give us our answer in kilojoules per mole. So I got 7.66 kilojoules per mole. And we're almost done at this point. Now we have to decide if this is an exothermic reaction or an endothermic reaction. The way we can tell is looking at the temperature. Exothermic reactions release heat, so the temperature would go up. They're going to feel hot to the touch. That's what's happening in this situation here. And the sign that we give exothermic reactions for delta H is negative. So our answer is negative 7.66 kilojoules per mole.